Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates, and we have a massive update from Flight Sim Studio regarding their E-Jet line. Navigraph is announcing a virtual academy that goes far beyond anything that I have seen before in flight simulation. We have a new update from SayIntentions as well as an update to the Salty Simulation 747 and more, so stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides from Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below.
Overkill simulations, watch us as we fly.
All right, guys, so as stated at the beginning of this video, well, first off, don't forget, guys, I do have another channel now. A link to it is down in the description below. It is everything outside of flight simulation, although some DCS combat will definitely be included there, but all kinds of other simulators, games that I'm going to be recording over there. Looking to get some help getting it off the ground, so if you guys are interested in that and supporting that, make sure that you guys click that link down in the description, head on over to that channel and give that subscribe button a click. That would really help me out. Now, getting started with the updates. So as I said, Flight Sim Studio has released an update to their E-Jet product line. It is now version 9 or 0.933. So if you guys are below that, make sure you guys pay attention. It introduces a whole bunch of key improvements, including tail strike avoidance systems for takeoffs and landings, an improved auto throttle, FMS speed modes, and refinements to the 3D model and APU bleed simulation. There were a bunch of bug fixes in both system stability and usability, such as hydraulics, the MFD, and again, as aforementioned, the auto throttle. They also gave an update as to bringing their E-Jets to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. They have had access now to the SDK and the alpha build, but unfortunately the aircraft series did not perform as they were expected. They're currently under testing to determine whether or not this is an issue with their aircraft modeling or with the flight simulator itself being in an alpha status. So more information will come in regard to that as it is provided. However, moving forward to right around Christmas break, they have stated that there will be another update coming to their line, which will come with two primary new features: a deeper GSX integration, including automatic flows, and also landing distance calculators in the EFB. More details on both will be available as we get closer to the release. So, the E-Jet series of aircraft are pretty darn phenomenal. They really are good. They, on release, Flight Sim Studio had quite a few bugs, things like that, that made some of the events quite frustrating, but they have come a very long way, and they are definitely up to the par that we would expect now. They're a lot of fun to fly. Definitely a different ballgame. The only thing I hate about them is I hate the Embraer yoke. There's something about it. It looks goofy. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, so if you guys are interested in picking up the E-Jet series of aircraft, you guys can grab them from the Aerosoft store or from the Contrail app. This one is very, very exciting, and it's almost it's a marvel, really, is what they're undertaking here, in my opinion. And what they are essentially trying to do is bridge the gap between reality and flight simulation, and as you guys can see, that is they being the Navigraph team. They are going to be launching something called FS Academy. The idea here is to put practical use training provided by real-world pilots into a series of videos, courses, seminars, etc. to help pilots and simulator pilots, I should say, bridge the gap, as forestated, between reality and simulation. So the idea basically is to turn your flight simulator into a training tool, is what this is sounding like to me. Now, we're not expecting this until sometime in 2025, so you can bet your money that this will be a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 release. If there's an integration, this is the kicker, right? They do have a video up on their website, guys, if you guys want to check that out, that will sort of break it down. It would definitely look like 2024 that they were using. but I don't know if it's going to be like an integrated application. It hasn't really stated that, or if it's just an academy. Now, what I really did like about what I saw is that there is even a certificate involved when you're all done with the training. Again, the overall training courses are developed by real world pilots, and again, with practical training procedures. Now, I don't anticipate this as being some sort of replacement to real world training. But I do think, based on some of the things that I'm seeing in their highlights and what they are discussing, that it would be a nice supplement for real world pilot training, maybe to get your foot in the door, help iron out a few things that maybe you didn't understand. The video that they have shows a practical usage of, for example, basic turn coordination, right? Being able to make a nice and level turn, 360-degree turn without, varying altitude, which yours truly greatly struggles with. That's probably one of my bigger struggle points that I'm worried about when it comes time to start my flight training is maintaining altitude. I am terrible in the general aviation aircraft. I'm terrible about maintaining altitude. It really is a tough point. So that I'm kind of excited to check out. And I think that this is, if they go the direction that I think that they're going with this, and the way it sounds like they're going with this could be a really cool tool to decide if you want to go for your pilot's license. Is that really a legwork that you're wanting to step into? And I am really excited for this, and I can't think of a better team to take this one on. The Navigraph team, there's quite a few of them that are real-world pilots, and not to mention just their overall knowledge of aviation. I mean, obviously, to build something like Navigraph, you'd have to understand the fundamentals and how it's used in real-world practice, right? And so I'm super excited for this. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you guys are going to be picking up? Again, go over to the Navigraph website and there's a link to it. You can see a teaser video that sort of breaks down what they're doing, as well as some commentation from the developers of the product to get an idea of what they're doing. I'm super excited for this. I think this is really neat, and if they do it right, it's something that flight simulation has needed for a long time for those of us who are interested in using the platform for real-world practical use in the aspect of, again, as I stated before, practice, right? Giving you an idea of how things are done in the real world, not as a replacement for real-world training. But anyway, super excited. Let me know what you guys think. Next up, we have a new developer that has hit the Microsoft Flight Simulator battlefield, if you will, with a new software called Universal RAAS, or the aptly named vRAAS. Now, RAAS stands for Runway Awareness and Advisory System, and gives pilots a greater awareness when operating aircraft on or around the runways. Everything from telling you whether or not you're too fast based on your target speeds, whether or not what runway you are approaching or on, etc., things like that. So it includes the standard functionality that you'll get. This includes visual displays on the PFD or primary flight displays and nav displays for many of the aircraft, distinct sounds for advisory and caution alerts. As we stated earlier, a dynamic too fast alerts depending on your target airspeed. And the product aims, again, to increase your situational awareness on or about the runways, therefore giving you a safer operation of the aircraft. So, Land 3 Simulations is the name of this developer who is bringing this over to the simulator. They don't have a release date as of yet, is my understanding at the time of this video. I could be... no, not yet. Okay, I just want to confirm that. I got a couple things confused earlier, so I want to make sure I had my stuff right. But it has a huge compatibility list. You guys can check that out. Again, if you look up Land 3 Simulations, it's pretty impressive, and it will be exclusive to the Contrail app once it is released. The developer is a real-world 757 pilot, so this is coming from first-hand experience of how RAAS system should sound and be operated. And it even is going to work with the, guess what? The Airbus A380X that's releasing in a matter of hours at the time of recording this video. I'm super excited. That's going to be October 31st, you guys. That is tomorrow, Halloween. We get the A380. Although, can I just say, fly-by-wire, did you guys do realize that we have kids, right? you're releasing one of the most highly anticipated aircraft that we've been waiting on for how many years, and you're doing it on Halloween when we have to go pretend to like it, be around our kids. I'm just kidding. I love my children, guys. I'm a single parent of 3. Don't you dare take that the wrong way. Anyway, I'm just saying. You release our toy when we have to go play with the kids. Like, what the crap? Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm super excited. My kids have been hounding me all day about it. So, this is really cool. The vRAAS system that we had before, I think there was one other app that you were able to grab. I can't remember. I don't use it anymore. I uninstalled it. It might have been with GSX. Was it GSX that provided it? I can't remember now. But it wasn't very effective, and there were a lot of times that you would get there is no runway data for this airport, blah, blah, blah. Or your aircraft is too big for the parking stand as you're sitting on a jetway. So it wasn't particularly effective. So this is actually really comforting to hear, and I'm really excited about this product, and I think it will bring a lot of very welcomed information and alerts to our simulation experience. So stay tuned for more information on that as we find out. All right, next on the list, we have a quick update from SayIntentions.AI. First off, they have confirmed after the Tech Alpha release full compatibility with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. In addition, they have also stated that with the new features and capabilities that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is bringing, they will add new features to their software as well, such as, for example, oil rig traffic. Indicating that you'll actually have to communicate with them as well, getting your permissions to land, take off, etc. So I'll give them that. That's really cool. I'm kind of stoked about that. I have yet to try SayIntentions.AI, but I think it's time for me to go ahead and take the dive and see what it's all about, so I can give you guys my genuine thoughts and comparisons. As I am a avid Beyond ATC user, so it's a really tough call. As far as, which way to go. They're both amazing pieces of software, very well written with their own feature list that I really appreciate. And SayIntentions.AI in the beginning, I did not like the response times. It could be anywhere from 60 seconds or longer, but it seems like that has pretty much been resolved in the later videos that I've watched most recently. So I'm pretty excited about that. It seems kind of cool. Guys, if you guys are interested in checking out SayIntentions.AI, you can go over to their website and you can either subscribe for $16.95 a month, which my understanding gives you full access to all of the features that are currently with the software. By the way, the expansion that we were just talking about with oil rigs and things of that nature, they have been unclear of whether or not that is just going to be included with the software or if it will be an extended package for purchase. But anyway, I apologize. You can either pick it up for $16.95 on the website as a subscription, or I believe it is $32, right around 32 US dollars. Don't quote me. I think it's 32 or 35 for a one-time purchase for their Entourage package. And again, you'll have to go to their website to see all the details and make the best choice for you. But it is pretty impressive. AI is really taking hold of flight simulation and simulation in general. But I do have to agree that AI in general in simulation is something that that's a powerful tool. I mean, the things that it's capable of doing is pretty impressive. So anyways, there's your update on SayIntentions.AI. The Salty Simulation 747-8i expansion, if you will, or improvement mod has been updated once again to now include a fully functional EFB or electronic flight bag to the 747-8i. The 747-8i EFB now includes things such as live weather updates, Navigraph charts, SimBrief integration, and a few other features and tools that are available to aid in your flight planning and flight management of the 747. One of the other things that is really, really welcomed, and I will definitely be flying the 747 once again, it'd be nice to get the Queen of the Skies airborne, is that they now have taken full advantage of the Avionics Package 2 update from working title that was brought quite a few updates back. Meaning that we're now going to see much better overall performance of the aircraft and the avionics system, such as the autopilot and some of the other systems integrations that we saw in the AAU2 update. The AAU updates in general brought a massive change to the avionics in these aircraft and really took hold of the capability of the autopilot systems and overall avionics systems in Microsoft Flight Simulator that were otherwise hindered by just basically lack of build is what it seems to be. I can't tell you. I think one of the and this is not shooting anyone else down by any means. It's a global effort and all the developers. But I gotta say, man, A big shout out needs to go also on top of everybody else who's involved, but Working Title they really set the bar right from the start. I mean, you guys remember when they first started? I think they started with the CJ4, right? Was the first thing that they did in Microsoft Flight Simulator was took the CJ4 and just overhauled it and made it an incredibly accurate aircraft. And man, they just haven't stopped ever since. They just haven't stopped. Anyway, so with Salty now integrating with the AAU2 update, good on Salty as well. Salty is another one who took the 747. I mean, again, going back to the beginning, I don't know how many of you guys remember, but when 2020 first launched, the 747 was like, there's no other way to say it. It was trash, man. It was not a good aircraft. I remember the autopilot system was a wreck. It would try to fly itself like it was an F-16. Just beat down horrible aircraft. And Salty took hold of the 747 and really made it into something worth flying. I have a full tutorial PDF guide on my Patreon site with the 747, and the only reason why I did it was because of Salty. Big shout out to him. If you guys are interested in checking this out, it is another freeware aircraft. You just have to have the default 747, and then you can download the fly-by-wire installer, which I hope everybody's downloading by now, because again, in a matter of hours, we will have access to the A380. Anyway, check it out, guys. I promise the Queen of the Skies is a lot of fun, and it'll be cool to have the Queen of the Skies sitting side by side with the King of the Skies. Finally, that does bring us to the third time I am announcing it. Do not forget, guys, we are a matter of hours away from the fly-by-wire release of the A380X in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I do want to remind you guys of what to expect. Remember, this is an open alpha. So first thing, to those of you who are far more skilled than I am and you can consider yourself a coder or a developer or take interest in such activities, make sure that you guys head over to the Fly-by-Wire website or their Discord and start chatting with them. They are looking for people to help them. Again, this is an open source project, meaning that anyone with the skills necessary can download the source code and start working on the aircraft and submit updates for it. It has basic features, meaning things like, a standard A to B flight, and that includes, your flight plans, holds, missed approaches, things like that. ILS approaches, RNAV approaches, those are all modeled. But the aircraft, they have stated, still has a long way to go, but it is definitely ready for release as they are determining. But alpha, 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 alpha. Okay, I'm going to stress that. You're going to run into bugs. You're going to have issues. It's going to have odd behaviors. Okay, don't get frustrated. Understand that if you are downloading and you install it and you take the chance to fly it, you are flying in alpha. Remember, as silly as it sounds to say, I'm going to say it. An alpha comes before a beta, and a betas usually have bugs and things like that in them. So you're going to run into some issues. There's going to be some odd behaviors, and all you got to do is submit them, guys. Just make sure that you are heading on over to the Fly-by-Wire Discord page. They have a bug report option there. Same thing with on their GitHub. You guys make sure that you're submitting your bug reports and even your feature requests and things like that, and help them get this aircraft rolling. The alphas and betas in general, they are, a lot of people say, I'm not a tester. Well, if you downloaded a beta, yes, you are, because that's really the whole purpose of it. Any kind of early access development, that's exactly what they're doing. And it makes sense that they do it, because the whole reason why they do it is because we all have different hardware. We all have different softwares installed. We all have all this other different stuff that impacts the simulator. So there's no way to truly iron out a simulator or a product 100% beforehand, because you don't know what it's integrating with. So anyways, I'm super excited. Matter of hours away from it, guys. I'm going to be jumping on this thing as soon as it's available for download, which I am checking right now to see if it is, because I don't know on whose time zone they're releasing it on for the 31st, and technically there are parts of the world that it's already the 31st. But it is not available yet. Damn it. Anyway, so I keep launching the installer about every 25, 30 minutes. So as always, guys, stay safe and healthy. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other channel if you're interested in other content outside of flight simulation, and it would definitely help me get that channel off the ground, up and running, as I'd like to share my other fun and goofy moments with you. Trust me, I get ridiculous. So as always, guys, be safe. Remember, tomorrow's Halloween. Take care. Watch out your kids. Check their candy, guys. Please. There are some creepers out there. It was about 3 years ago. I do want to toss this last thing out. About 3 years ago, we found a needle in my 6-year-old Snicker bar. Check the candies, guys. If any of the air packages are broken, things like that, make sure you throw them away. But anyways, keep your kids safe, guys. As always, see you in the next one.